Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sharing with you some first-time cruiser mistakes. Hopefully you don't make any of these.
Yeah, we've made a few of these, and a lot of people make these because the cruise lines try to get you to make these mistakes. So we're going to warn you what you don't want to do. And the first one is not making a plan for your drinks on board. This can be a huge cost thing if you don't make a plan and stick to it. And they're going to sell you either drinks individually or a drink package, and you need to decide before you get on which one you're going to do, because if you decide after you're on, not only is it going to cost more to get the package, but you're already going to have bought some of the drinks up front.
Exactly. So it's really one of the questions that most of our friends ask us when they're going on a cruise for the first time. They always ask us, is the drink package worth it? And you know, for us personally, we don't drink enough alcohol beverages or soda to even compensate for half of the cost of what the beverage package is, regardless of which one you get. So we prefer to just purchase the drinks individually because that works for us. But if you have to just kind of do the math, and each cruise line does it a little bit differently. So other than like Virgin Voyages, where they're just, you know, some of the sodas are included and then you can do the tab, or sometimes that's included. Just depends on which cruise line you're going to be on. Do the math, take a moment to do the math, and then always remember that you do have to purchase that package for everyone in your room as well.
Yeah, that's the big key point that they don't want you to think about, is that not only you may think to yourself, well, I'm going to drink 6 drinks a day, so it'll pay for itself, but the other person in your cabin also has to make it pay for themselves. So unless you're both going to drink that many, the second thing that they don't want you to think about when you're buying a drink package is you have to drink that many every single day or it won't pay for itself. So think about this. If you're getting to a port and you're doing a shore excursion and you get off the ship at 8 a.m. and you get back on the ship at 8 p.m., are you going to be able to drink that many drinks from 8 p.m. till when you go to bed? If you have 4 port days, are you going to be able to do that every single day? Sometimes that gets tough. So you generally in your mind, you think best case scenario, which is a sea day, I'll drink 10 drinks and it'll be fine. You don't think about those days that you're only going to drink 1 drink. So you really have to add up what you think you'll do to see if it's worthwhile. For most people, they don't end up drinking enough to make it worthwhile, which is why the cruise lines offer it. If the cruise lines were losing money on the drink packages, they would not offer them, or they would raise the price. So they are making money on the drink packages because most people do not drink enough to justify the cost. Let's talk about shore excursions, and what do we need to know about that?
Shore excursions, you have to plan them out. And here's the thing is, a lot of people think to themselves, oh, I'll just decide once I get on the ship. And that's a huge mistake, because so often they sell out. And we've actually, even just recently, we made this mistake, mostly because we couldn't make up our mind between 2 different excursions. And then by the time we finally made up our mind, we went to go get the tickets and she said that sold out 2 days ago. So you have to make up your mind beforehand and book your shore excursions. And the other thing is that, and you probably have, if you've watched our videos here on the channel, you probably have seen, we do a lot of DIY shore excursions. And a lot of times you can just walk off the ship and do the same thing that they're offering you on a shore excursion. So do the research on that as well, because the cruise lines will basically, they're just selling you a shuttle bus from one place to another place, when you can actually just walk it, and it's going to be way prettier than just, you know, hanging on a shuttle bus with 200 other people.
Yeah, you can either walk it, or a lot of times if it's the Caribbean and it's a beach break, find out how much it is to get a cab to that beach. Oftentimes it'll be $10, $15, $20 for a cab to the beach each way. So that's $40 for however many people you're going to put in the cab. And the shore excursion to the beach may be $79 per person. So you may save $300 just by getting off the ship and getting a cab. The other thing is, if you're in a place that's not so easy to navigate, like not in the Caribbean, like say you're going to a place overseas and it's going to be more difficult, you definitely want to get the shore excursion For instance, we were in Normandy, and you can't just get off the ship in Normandy and get a car and go do the Normandy beaches. That would be incredibly difficult to do. Same with like Aqaba, Jordan. You're not going to get out into the Wadi Rum desert by yourself. So if you're going to do those things, you need to book those immediately after you book the cruise, because those will sell out, because everybody knows I can't do this shore excursion on my own. I have to do it through the ship. Those are the ones you've got to book right away. If you're just in a Caribbean port, you can probably do a lot of that stuff on your own.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of reserving things in advance, the other thing you need to look at is reserving show space. So reserving a seat for particular shows. And if your cruise line, requires that or has an accommodation for that, then that means that they're going to sell out. So definitely make sure to do that. When you do your check-in or when you book it, it's going to say something along those lines like, you can pre-book your shows on such and such date. Make sure you come back and do that. Sometimes they'll send you a reminder email, sometimes they won't, but make sure you go back and do that, because you're going to miss out on some shows and you're going to be really bummed when you're on there. It's happened to us before, especially if you're on a Royal Caribbean. Those are huge ships, massive amounts of people, and they sell out those ships a lot. Their show venues don't even accommodate half of the people that are on the ship, which means only the people who reserved in advance are going to be able to get into the show.
Exactly. Next thing, the first thing you need to do when you get on the ship is figure out your dining. If you do not figure out your dining right when you get on the ship, it will be really hard to do it later, and you'll have less and less options as time goes on. Almost always the maitre d' is ready and available right when people are boarding the ship to figure things out. So if you go straight there, figure out whatever you need to do. If you're at the wrong time, if you're just doing the anytime dining and you're good with that, then you're probably fine not to go figure it out. But if you need a specific table for a specific amount of people, or you want it at a specific time, or on Virgin if you need to book your specific restaurants, you need to do that first, because other people are going to do it, and the longer you wait, the more your options are just going to start shrinking, and you won't be able to get that private table. You won't be able to get that table by the window, anything like that. So a lot of people say go to the pool right when you get on the ship. We say go figure out your dining. It'll only take you 5 minutes. You walk in there, there won't be anybody talking to the maitre d'. They're usually sitting in one of the main dining rooms right when you get on the ship. Just go back there and talk to them and figure out what are my options if you don't like what you were assigned. Because sometimes they'll give you like a late dining, like a 8 o'clock dining. Maybe you want 5 o'clock. Well, when you get on the ship, they can switch that for you. But if you wait till day 2 or 3, they may no longer be able to switch that for you.
Yeah, it'll fill up. Definitely the offerings will change the longer that you wait. So that very first day, it's one of the things on your checklist of things to do when you get on the ship. Head straight to see that maitre d' if you're doing anything other than like an anytime dining situation.
All right, we always recommend that you pre-purchase your internet package, and there's a couple of reasons for this. Sometimes when you purchase it well in advance, we've had it happen where we purchased it the night before, and then we got on the ship and it didn't show up, the system did not recognize it yet. We had to go down to, it ended up working out, but we had to go down to the internet desk. And if you've ever been, that's one place you don't want to be on the first day, is the internet desk. There are going to be 50 people down there that can't figure out how to get on the internet, and if your package isn't working, you're going to be in that line with them. So you want to book that well in advance. Not only that, you're going to save money. So another first thing you need to do when you get on, after you've done your dining, log on to the internet right away. Even though you can still get it on your phone, likely through your cell phone, get on the ship's internet and make sure it's working, because if it's not working and you can't figure it out, you want to be the first person in line at the internet desk, not the 50th. That's going to take hours to get through that line, because there's generally only 1 or 2 people working there.
Yeah, it's usually really challenging. And Also, we have a good tip for you on how many internet packages you should purchase.
Yeah, we generally only purchase one internet package for one device. That's for the two of us. And the reason for that is pretty much all cruise ships that we've been on, except for maybe one, will allow you to use your phone as a hotspot. And if you have an Android phone, it does not work with an iPhone for the most part. But if you have an Android phone, you can get on the ship's internet and put your hotspot on, and anyone in your party that's near you can also use that internet. So we don't buy, like if I want to use my internet on my phone and my computer, for my computer, I just use the hotspot from my phone. I'm at my computer, my phone's going to be near it. It will work most of the time. If there's an odd case where it doesn't work, you could always upgrade your package. But for the most part, we have always done that, and it has always worked. That is, if you have an Android phone, it will usually work. So the next thing is to plan for your water drinking.
Yes, so in general, it is not a good idea to drink the water from the tap in your stateroom. And in some cases, it actually says, don't drink this water. So you have to make a plan to stay hydrated, and you have a couple of choices. The first thing you can do is bring a refillable water for each person in your room, and you can refill it each time you're in the buffet area. You can refill it there all the time with no problem. But the other thing you could do is, and we do this, we do both. We bring a refillable water bottle, but we also purchase a water package. Quite a few of the cruise lines allow you to do that, and they deliver it to your stateroom before you even arrive. By the time you get into your stateroom, your water's already sitting in there. A lot of the times they even put it in the refrigerator already for us, which is great because it's already cooling. And so it's really good to just go ahead and get that. You get a good deal if you do that. And actually some of the cruise lines, I think Carnival for sure is one that also allows you to purchase soft drinks as well from them.
Yeah, so we just have those sit in that. I know you can bring soft drinks on the Carnival. We're usually not in a place where we're wanting to lug soft drinks around because we're not driving to the port. So you can purchase those from them, and it's really an economical way to do it. Thermal suites, let's talk about those. If you're a thermal suite person, if you've never been on a thermal suite or on a cruise, thermal suite is like a spa relaxation area, and it is better to pre-purchase those before you get on. So if you've never been on, this is your first cruise, take a look at some of the videos on the ship you're going to be on, search for ship name thermal suite, and see, we have a lot of them on our channel here. But tell them a little bit about thermal suites and why you should pre-purchase that.
Yeah, and especially if you're gonna be on a cruise that has several sea days, this is a great place to spend your time, because on sea days, everybody is on the ship. So everything is taken up, and the thermal suite is like the secret hack to relaxation on the cruise ship, because they almost always have some sort of pool option, some sort of hot tub option, several saunas, whirlpools, all kinds of stuff. And they just have an area usually where you can sit and either sunbathe. Some of them have outdoor spaces and indoor spaces. It just depends on the ship, and so you have to just look it up to see what your ship will look like. But I have always found it completely worth it to have that space, to spend that time during those sea days, especially where everybody's going to be there. Everyone's, in all the pools and having a good time. And if you're looking for a little corner of peace and quiet to just kind of sit and read your book and just enjoy the views, the thermal suite is perfect, and you will always get a better price if you book it beforehand than if you book it after you get on board. So make sure you check out videos on YouTube and see what they look like and see if that's something that you're interested in.
All right, and then we've got find out if there are any special dress-up days for theme nights on your cruise.
And you'll find that a lot of people will start like Facebook groups for particular cruise weeks. So you could check Facebook for that, and they'll have all those deep down details for you. You can even pre-meet people in there. But just check and do some research again and find out, like, some ships will have like a white night, so you'll dress in all white, and some will have, like, you know, a super formal night. Make sure, you know, you check out what night that's going to be. And then the other thing, like on Virgin Voyages, they have like a red where everybody dresses in red because that's obviously the, you know, their color. And then there's like pajama nights, different things like that. So make sure that you check that out. Do your research on what you need to bring so that you don't feel left out on the cruise. When everybody's doing it, you're like, oh, I didn't know that we were supposed to bring all white. Or, you know, like on Disney, they have like a pirate night. Of course, we didn't have anything to accommodate for that.
They did give us a bandana though. So.
They did. That was actually very helpful because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to participate. So guys, we hope that you will learn from these and it will help your very first cruise be an amazing experience. If you have any questions, leave those for us below in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.